Hi, everybody. Lori here. Thank you so much for joining me today. I've got a fun love themed project to share with you. I'm going to be using some February release products from the Greetery, and I was so excited and in love. I bought a bunch of it, just came in the mail. Like it literally just landed on my porch. I opened the box, took out this beautiful bag. Look at the presentation, and I hooked up my phone and made a video. Have I ever done this before? Ever? Never. I bought the stuff. It landed on my porch, hooked up the camera, bada boom. Here's what I bought. The little mini fasteners. These are like Tim Holtz little teeny tiny mini brads to make the itty bitty scissors. These are the little sub-sentiment stamp sets, flourish phrases, hello and love. This is the postcard details die. It makes your panel look like a postcard. And then the postal modern stamp set and die. Everything is like postal theme. I love it. And here's the flourish phrases, coordinating die, the hello and the love. Look at the back. I love it. And then the Sent with Love die set. Now this is where you can make those itty bitty scissors and little envelopes and all fun stuff. Now look at this. Scripted sentiments, stamp and die. When I saw that ultra scripty sentiments, I was like, you got me. You got me. And then here's the flourish phrases, love and hello layering stencil sets. So that all kind of goes together with the die and the little mini stamp set. And then Airmail border. Last but certainly not least. And was there more I wanted to buy? Yes, there was. But I stopped and I said, Laura, there's only so much you can afford and there's only so much you have time to use. But I'm going to start with a love card. It's a layering stencil set. There's 3 stencils. So I trimmed a panel of white cardstock, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. I butted it down in my little mini Misty, and I just pulled out Saltwater Taffy Distress Oxide. I was so excited. I had the shakes when I was trying to pick out a color, and Saltwater Taffy happened to be on top of the pile, so I just grabbed her. So I'm doing a light wash with that love, not too heavy, just a little dab will do. Then I pulled out Kitsch Flamingo, and I'm doing a little bit on the bottom. Giving it that gradient love, that gradient love. And okay, so yeah, let's rein it in. Can you tell I'm excited? I think it's because for this project, I'm a consumer. I'm a consumer. I'm a consumer. Here's the shadow for the love. Now I'm going to use Abandoned Coral, which is kind of an orangey red, giving it a nice light wash. And then I'll give it some gradient love with Lumberjack Red. So again, I'm a consumer. I bought this. It's not a paid assignment. I'm not on a design team. I just fell in love with the release and I bought it, and I'm happy to do it because I want to do it. And something about that lit a fire within me. It lit a fire deep within. And I think I got to do more of this. Just buy something that lights my fire. Here's that Lumberjack Red. It just came out in the little mini ink cubes. And that gives you that little pop of darkness at the bottom of the Abandoned Coral, which gives you the most beautiful shadow for the love. And using a little mini, these are the Concord 9th mini blender brushes. It's nice to have a mini when you just want a little dab. But now for the third stencil, which is kind of those flourishes. What do I got here? Tumbled. Is this tumbled glass? I always forget the names. When you have 555 ink pad names, you start to forget. I only have 5 children, and I call them the wrong names all the time. So I think this is tumble glass. And then for a little gradient, I pulled out, I believe this is called Enchanted Waters. It's one of those new distress colors, but it gives a nice little pop with that tumble glass. If I forget to mention something, or if I say it wrong, I'll have everything linked in the description box. I do, however, have affiliate with the Greetery, so if you choose to buy through my links, I will get a little kickback at no extra cost to you. But either way, I'm very excited to make this project. Okay, I'm using the coordinating die for the Flourished phrases love. It's going to cut out the whole thing, including those flourishes, and then there's a separate die that cuts out just the word love without the shadow, just the love. So I decided to go ahead and blend another love using the same color, Saltwater Taffy and that Kitsch Flamingo. I'm going to take that die and just cut out the love. I'm taking these off camera, running them through my Anna Griffin Impress or Empress. I never know how to say it, but I got to tell you, I have never looked back. I love that Anna Griffin little machine. I'll put little slivers of foam tape, not super thick, just kind of a thin. You know what I realized I had? I had a big roll. It's called the Big Mama Roll by Simon Says Stamp of foam tape. I had it in my stash, didn't even know I had it. And I noticed that it's really thin foam tape. And I love that because sometimes you want a little, like a thin foam tape, not a thick one. And this one does the trick, the Big Mama foam tape. So there you have this. It's dimensional. It's gradient. I'm here for it. Okay, the Airmail border. This one here, I think I was probably most excited about this more than anything else in the release. But if you haven't checked out the February release with the Greetery, please do so. They have more. I didn't even get, like, they've got a typewriter that'll knock your pants off. And I'll tell you what, here's the thing about the Greetery. My husband knows this because I won't shut up about it. Betsy Veldman and I go way back. I'm talking 10 years. Like when I used to design for Paper Tray Inc., she was on the team, and I've always idolized her. I think, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, I think she's one of the most talented card makers in the biz. I really do. She has the most soft, subtle personality, but I think she was a florist before she did card making. Maybe she still is a florist, but she has an eye. She has an eye. Okay. And everything she makes is gold to me. And so I've been following the Greetery. I have done a little, like every once in a while I've guest designed for them, but I love Betsy. And let's go back. December. I don't know if you checked out their December release. I wanted to buy it so stinking bad, but I didn't because I knew I wouldn't have time to use it. But did I want it? You bet your bottom dollar. I even talked about it with my family, and they look at me like, why are you telling me this information? But I have to tell somebody. I loved it. Okay, here is that postcard die. I'm die cutting it right into my Airmail panel. And I didn't even know how this was going to turn out. But can you tell I'm in love? I am. Okay, look at how this made it look like a postcard. It just puts the detail right in there. And then this was very white and stark, which is great, but I felt like I wanted to grunge it up. Like, I'm not a grungy type of gal, but if I was, this is about as grungy as I would get. I took a little Saltwater Taffy, and here's a little antique linen. I'm just going over willy-nilly to grunge it up, to Tim Holtz it up in the very subtlest fashion possible. I just wanted to make it not so starky white, a little more lived in, a little more loved. You know, like when you get a postcard. Does anybody even get a postcard these days? Speaking of postage, did you hear the postage is going up? Can you even believe it? I'm wondering if this will hurt the card making industry with the postage keep going up. But then I thought, you know what? I think card makers as a whole, we don't actually send that many cards. We just like making them. So maybe the postage going up won't even affect the card making industry at all. Who knows? I don't know. Okay. I am taking that Postal stamp set. I forget the name of it. And I'm stamping like a little faux stamp, but you can just disregard all of this because I'm going to end up doing it again on scrap paper, use the coordinating dies, and pop it up over top of these images. I just decided I needed more dimension, and I didn't love the colors I chose. They were okay. I think this is Tumbled glass. It was okay. I don't hate it, but I didn't love it. And then I'm doing this little, I don't know what you call it. It's like the circular thing that you might see a post office stamp on your letter, and then these little swirly thingamajiggies. I love the look of this. I am so digging the Postal look of projects, you know, when it's got the faux stamp and the Airmail and all that jazz. I love it. Now here I'm just re-stamping the stamp, the little faux stamp. I'm using that Saltwater Taffy ink and then some red. For this red, I actually use Concord 9th Poppy Now, if you ever want to pop in red, Concord 9th Poppy is the way to go. And then I'll use those coordinating dies just to cut those out, and I'll pop them up on my little ink blended panel here. So again, I'm using that thin foam tape from Simon Says Stamp. It's that big mama roll. It's nice and thin. It's about half the thickness of what I've been using for years. And I just kind of like that thinness right now. I'm in a thin dimensional era. Can I say that? Okay, and then I added the mail from that scripty sentiment. So it's going to be like love mail. That's what I was going for it to say like love mail. I'm gluing this on a white card base, popping up my love, kind of cocking it on an angle, keeping it fresh. I didn't add any embellishments. I just didn't feel like it needed any more, but this is just the tip of the iceberg. I want to do one of these cards with the hello themed, and I want to break out those mini scissors. Stay tuned for more. Check out the Greetery's February release. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time.